Good evening and welcome to the Chairsofter show. The kids are running it tonight, so it's all going to go wrong.
We've got the intro right this time.
Yes.
That's a good start.
Yes, we got the intro right. So yeah, that is a good start.
With us tonight, we have lovely Emerson, or Silky, however you want to call him.
However you like to call him or know him.
There may be other names, but we shall not say that.
Please keep it clean.
That's only for game days, mate. And well, usually hot on the news desk, we have Mr. Chesney.
Good evening.
With no news tonight.
With no news, yeah, no news today.
Yeah.
Nothing to know of.
Well, I heard that.
There isn't
I heard
really.
that one coming down the street. That one that you just threw.
So, Emerson, give us a quick little sort of snapshot about yourself.
So call sign Silky. Been a marshal since end of 2012. That was part-time. 2015, I become a full-time marshal at Gunman Airsoft Midlands. In all that time, I was a player. Not very good, but player. I still play now and again. Not as much as I used to. Do I miss playing? Yes. But I enjoy being around the community. You can wake up in the morning and I really can't be bothered to go to work. Saturday, Sundays, when I know there's a game day on, I'm up, dressed, bags ready,
Bouncing around.
ready to go.
Like
Obviously, I've got a good marshal team at the site as well. For those that haven't been to site, there's about 17 of them, all part-time marshal.
in the comments currently.
Obviously, Chesney has just become one of the marshal team as well. Yeah, that's all I could say on that. Obviously, game days, we've started changing things up a little bit. So on site, we have started doing film sims. We've ran 2 so far. Both went very well. But unfortunately, that's all we had space for before the gun weekender. But yeah.
Yeah, you used to do film sims years ago as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So Andy, Gun Monkey, he did War Dogs.
That was it, War Dogs, yeah.
Yeah. Which was kind of like, I can't think of the film. I think it's Gamer. It was based around that sort of scenario.
So, how does a film, like, I've never done film sims or nothing. I've played standard like Woodland games and CQB a lot. So, what is the difference? Like, obviously, mil sim, I'm guessing that's more military sort of base. What's the film sim then?
So, the way I'm basing the film sims is you rock up on site, chrono, sign in, like you'd normally do, and you'll go out in the morning, you'll finish at lunchtime. After lunch, you'll go back out and you'll play right up until index. Throughout the day, there's multiple missions going out. I do want to take it to a different level come 2025, where for those that have seen the website and how you book on for the GAN Weekender, that's how I want to take the film sims as well. So you'll book for a squad within that team and you'll have a set loadout. So basically, we're doing our film sims around what other sites are different. There's a couple I've played in the past where they're not mil sim, but they're very, very close to the fact they do put you on ammo restriction. You've got to be wearing certain kit before you can take the field.
Yeah, I have seen some of them that, like, when you look into it, you've got to have certain gear and between, depending on what team you're on, basically.
I mean, our last film sim, I was over the moon because we didn't. So because it was only our second, I put an announcement out that we would be using armbands just to split the teams up, and the players all rocked up, and we could just part them. Golden Monkey one side, Griffin's Special Forces the other. People were in camo, and then we had people in Hawaiian shirts, jeans, hoodies. And there was just no need for the armbands, which was great.
Well, no, it's a bit obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I like that where you've actually got to use your, like some of the things I've been to like as well, where it's like the GAM, where you've got camo and block colours, and you've actually got to use your head and think. You've got to actually like properly PID your targets and things like that. Like, is that camo or is that?
I mean, Chesney can vouch for it because he's done 2 of them now, is it? Or is it 3?
I think I'm on 3 or 4 of the GAM weekenders.
So if you're on 4, you've done all 4 of them, then, haven't you?
So, well, no, I think I did a private weekender as well. I think I've done 3 normal and a private one. When you
so you did one of the Cool Kids ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the original Cool weekenders. Yeah.
So there's been a little bit of confusion in some of the weekenders that we've done. Mm-hmm. People have rocked up wearing block colour, but camo tack vest, and we hit the point last year where people were actually paying attention to the description of what you should be wearing and what you shouldn't be wearing. I mean, for cartel, rather than people spending fortune going out buying new kit, as long as you're clearly in a Hawaiian shirt and a pair of jeans, a camo vest isn't a big issue.
Yeah, because you're going to be bright and colourful, aren't you?
You've got a bright pink shirt on, I think it might give
it.
Yeah, it's a bit subtle.
But yeah, it was something me and Andy talked long about before we even started the GAM weekenders at Gunman, because obviously we were part of the GI weekenders down in Kings Langley with Josh from Eversley and Tuddenham, and there was quite a few times at safety brief before the weekender started. Josh would get really passionate about people not turning up in right kit, and it kind of ruins the weekenders if people don't pay attention to what they should be wearing.
Yeah, because you take your attention away all the time trying to work out if they are or they aren't.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, the weekenders I've played, shoot first, ask questions later.
It's like whenever somebody goes, "Oh, what's the game brief?" TDM with extra steps. I don't care what the game brief is.
Yeah, that to be fair, that does happen a lot. A lot of people are like, "What are you doing? Just shoot it, move, shoot. It's fine."
Yeah.
That's all I play. Free for all. Friendly fire is fine.
Yeah.
Every man for himself. A woman, should I say?
So before we get too more sort of into like the GAM weekend and things like that, when did the site actually open?
So
I was trying to work it out because I know, as we know, I've played there for quite some time, but I can't remember.
So site actually, their first game day was in July 2008.
Wow.
Was their very first game day.
2000.
Obviously, site has changed so much over all that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a marshal back then. My first ever game at the site was 2010, but I didn't revisit the site again due to other commitments until about 2011.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've just been.
Yeah, because I'd been playing there.
I mean,
I've been playing there before I met you.
I mean, for those that know site, my first ever game there, the Land Rovers were being used out on site.
Oh, what a picture! Yeah, that's quite a good one actually. Like I was trying to get screen caps from some videos I took on a crappy camera ages ago, but that sums it up quite well.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just unrecognizable
never been.
compared to that now, isn't it?
Is that looking down towards compound? It is.
I was going to say that's compound, isn't it? Because that's the
so
shed that's on the edge of compound.
This would be. Is this image flipped? I was going to say this is up from Bunker Hill. Yeah, because the little hut's on the wrong side, isn't it? Yeah. So you're with Bunker Hill there.
That's when they used to have
the images flipped.
Yeah, I thought it was from the back, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they used to have the telegraph poles there as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's better.
Come on, Kez, you get it right.
They're all in the sapling tubes. And...
I wonder if it will let me. Let me go into the settings because I took a picture today. Settings.
So has that one got a combination of like indoor and outdoor then, some like really close areas?
We do. There is some CQB elements. It's not indoor as in like you'd have when you go to the goal, but you have the compounds. You will have some of the buildings. Can't do it.
So it's a nice mixture of a bit of both of it, really. Then.
Yeah. So you've got compound, which is like just massive concrete wall around the outside, and then you've got like 4 buildings within that compound. You've got 2 towers, so you've got a bit of close quarters and bits.
5 buildings.
5 buildings. Sorry.
It's nice. It's nice. It's just there's something else to sort of break up for someone. I've never been there before, but that does sound interesting to know that there's different areas and depending on how you feel the playing on the day. Because to be fair, I like it
because it's a nice mix.
Yeah, like you do different game modes throughout the day that sort of incorporates each different area, which is nice. It's not just all woodland.
You've got different objectives rather than I know some sites I've been to, it's literally just one big wood, and it's just like, well, what can you actually do with it? It's samey.
The site itself is all the trees were planted by my boss and the staff he had back then. And when I first started playing there, I think same for Adam, all the trees still had their collars on to protect them.
They were literally just saplings when I started playing. You could see one corner of the site to the other.
Well, this was basically crawl, belly roll everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Some of my team that were playing back in the day said, "Oh, we've been to this place. It's in Cov. It's really, really good. You need to come there." And I looked at the pictures, like, "What the fuck are you on about? It's just a field with some fucking little sleeves. What's that going to offer me? I'm just going to fucking see people." Oh, pew. And then we went a few weeks later, and I was like, "Fucking hell, man, this is amazing." And it's been my local for years.
When is the weekender?
It is
bank holiday,
23rd to the 25th of August.
Let's have a look at my diary. I've just seen Das thingy. Right.
Is there one left for Monkey still?
I was going to say, have you still got any spaces, Emerson?
Probably not.
The only spaces we have left are one on Griffin Recon and one on Griffin.
See, I don't think I'd be able because I wouldn't. The thing, problem I have is because I've got my kids and everything. I can't do full weekends, which is a shame because I'd love to do a lot of them. A couple more years and I'll be there. But like visiting the site, I'm more than happy to come up for like a day if that's an option, though. But that's the thing. Book the tickets.
Unfortunately, we have done day tickets in the past on a weekender.
Yeah.
But we won't make that decision until like a week before, because if there's still spaces available, we would happily sell.
Yeah, because it's better to do a day than get nothing for the whole weekend. Yeah.
And it kind of still helps with the numbers.
If that option is available and there is a space just before it, let me know. Bring the kids.
Emerson's drunk.
he's really trying to get me to go. If there is an option of me coming up just for a day, then yeah, let us know. I'll be more than happy to do that. I just
Yeah.
to be fair, my daughter would absolutely love that. She would absolutely love it, and she would get proper into it. My son, no, it just sounds. That's all he needs. He's not an
never
outdoorsy
lets
person.
me down, does he? Oh,
Hostages.
I know.
No, you won't catch my daughter. She'll be gone.
Kids, probably not.
So, other than the actual the site sort of layout and things like that, you've been doing probably more so over the last sort of few years. You've been doing some massive work on the site, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously COVID hit. And coming out of lockdown, me and Andy, so Gunman Airsoft, did a bit of a renovation in the safe zone. So we made the marshal desk itself in a different location, actually put in a proper desk. And then obviously once all lockdowns were lifted, I started planning on what I would like to see if I was a new player at the site. For those that know site, Chuffington, obviously that had to come down. Been up as long as site had been open.
Sorry, that's that comment, innit?
And then Chuff has had a bit of a slow rebuild, but it's there. It's getting there. Middle Bridge is now known as Thunder's Crossing. That's had 2 new builds and a new bridge put in. Inside of compound,
yeah,
we've got 2 new buildings. One has I'm not going to say an upstairs because it's not an upstairs, but it has a platform where you can shoot either side of the compound. And currently, where I am working up at Fuel Depot, and for probably Adam's going to get really upset because it won't be known as Fuel Depot anymore.
It'll always. I've told you already. It'll always be Fuel Depot.
No, I
will call it Fuel Depot.
Silky's den of iniquity now.
But that's going to be quite a big build. I'm hoping I can crack through quite a lot during July, and we'll have it in a better place for the August bank holiday. But obviously we have other things on site as well as the airsoft, so we also have live action role play events on site. Which
so I was going to bring this up. So, because you used to do LARP, didn't you, back in the day? What came first for you? Was it LARP or was it airsoft?
See, I'm probably going to upset the airsofters in the room for the simple reason being
you're a paintballer.
Airsoft is live action role play. You're dressing up as toy soldiers all weekend, shooting each other.
Out.
Bloody iPad. Sit still. It's like a child. Yeah, it was airsoft that came first. And then, because obviously I work on site and Gunman was running his own LARP event, I had a go at cribbing it. Really enjoyed it. I've never actually played a LARP event. I've only ever crewed it.
Right.
But Femme Fatale, she's now gone across to LARP as well.
Yeah.
I think it's Empire. She goes.
Yeah, Empire.
Yeah.
Some of it, like her outfits look wicked.
Yeah,
like
so much time and effort goes into like some of these things. You just think like it's mad. Like people will spend hours, days, even like putting their costumes together and stuff. And
I can appreciate that for my costume efforts.
I work for a global company. I don't pay that much attention to what I wear in the office, let alone spending that time.
I'm just no good at that sort of thing, like arts and crafts and sewing and all that stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I can't do that.
Which is why I did most of your last cosplay.
Yeah.
I'd really love a ghillie. I'd fuck around with that.
But yeah, site's changing. Since October last year, we've had nothing. We had nothing but rain pretty much every week, or most of the week leading up to end of February, beginning of March.
Yeah.
So that kind of scuppered things a little bit. But then again, the
You may or
Martians,
may not have
boys
got
and girls,
vehicles stuck in
without
that.
their support, turning up on site in their spare time, helping with builds, digging, just general getting their hands dirty, helping getting these builds done. I couldn't do it on my own. So if you ever want holes digging, the best one to see is call sign Lily Pig. Ask her for a 2-foot hole. She digs a 6-foot hole. But yeah, all the boys and girls get involved, and
it's nice
as a
to have that
team-
community spirit as well, isn't it?
yeah. But as a
Sounds
team, we're delivering ourselves.
Mm.
And without, like I said, without them, I wouldn't be doing half of what I'm doing. I mean, there is times I get frustrated, and it's not because I've not explained myself or they've not listened. It's because I just haven't explained myself 100% on what we're doing.
Yeah, I get you.
But I mean, from the guys that marshal to the guys that turn up and build, I mean, Josh, so call sign Cassidy, him, Tom, so call sign Trippy, leading into the GAM weekend of last year. For a whole week, they'd turn up after work, get the streamers out, and it was like you wind them up and just let them go, and they would just go off and stream round site. And going into that weekend, all the nettles had pretty much gone, even the ones I didn't want gone. But
everything's gone because it's just been trimmed to death.
I mean, all the nettles can go. I'm fine with that.
Fine.
I'm okay with nettle. Like, they
I mean, the support from all of the guys, it's just out of this world. I mean, even Daff, he started his photography, deranged photography. It was at the Chairsoft, their private game.
Yeah, some wicked photos come out of that.
I mean, he's given me power tools so I can carry on doing stuff on site. And he's not asked for
I think he's rescued a vehicle not so long ago.
Yeah. That one is he pulled out what was it? Is it a Lincoln truck? One with a tail lift on the back, yeah. He pulled that out.
Oh, a Luton van.
He was busy on a job, and I was like, Daff, are you busy? I need you to come and help pull this truck out.
The 4th emergency service.
Amazing.
But yeah, you got the new buildings as well in the compound. That's
I'm really pleased with how they turned out.
Adam's very pleased with them as well. So
we've had some great feedback from people. Obviously, we've had a little bit of feedback about putting an internal wall. That isn't. I'm hoping to do that before the weekend now, but it won't be a permanent wall. It will be a fold-back wall, so we can, if we're having the doors, one door open, one door closed, the wall would get folded back.
Yeah.
If both doors are open, the wall gets folded open, so it blocks that.
I think it would just create that little bit of like having to like make sure that you're nice and clear or whatever. And I think it'll create some funny moments when somebody goes running in, doesn't realise there's somebody hiding in the corner like me, and goes, "Pew!" just as they come round the corner.
Or they're not expecting a wall to be there because it was folded out 20 minutes ago.
That'd be me. I'll just put straight into it like,
I think with the new buildings in compound as well, I don't know if we did it much when you guys played at the Cool Kids, but because we can open and close the doors in between each game, it's kind of give the whole of compound a new dynamic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you're used to going in one way and then you think, oh, actually, I can't get in that door. I've got to go round or go back.
I nearly ran into the door at the Cool Kids because one minute it was open and the next minute it was shut.
But I'm also going to take that aspect of things within the fuel the new fuel depot Fuel
Called it
depot.
Fuel Depot.
Well, it's still Fuel Depot at the minute.
Well, yeah.
So is there a new name for it? Have you already done this, or is it still Hush Hush? Or
I think what I'm going to do the same as what we did with Thunder's Crossing. We'll put it out to the players. But I want to get it to a point where it's not far from being finished, but not 100% finished. Because then if someone comes up with an idea, I can add something else to it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But it was really good when we did the poll for Middle Bridge. What should we call it?
Teabag Alley.
A player.
Sorry.
That'll go so wrong.
Winner.
There was a player we hadn't seen in a
Sold.
long time. Obviously, we have Mr. Thunder's memory tree out on site, and his idea for Middle Bridge was Thunder's, I think it was Thunder's Lookout, but that only really incorporated the building with the platform.
Yeah.
So as a marshal team, and I got Andy involved, so Gun Monkey, and I was like, right, so someone's come up with the idea, use Thunder. What are we going to do it as? And it was agreed that we went down Thunder's Crossing, and it is definitely what was that?
Sorry, we're not laughing at you. It's Chesney.
It's Dan, like, where's the seagulls?
So yeah, Middle Bridge is now known as Thunder's Crossing.
Is that a sound effect or is that actually outside?
It's outside my window. Yes, that is literally how close I am to the sea. The seagulls are just outside. I'm so sorry.
I thought we were back in Cornwall.
I just
They just
realised
joined
that
it
we're
in.
not
They
live
want
on
that. They
Instagram.
want to have their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
I thought I was being trolled.
The joys of living right by the seaside. You get
Oh
that.
no, how awful.
Terrible.
Oh, God
I
damn
know.
it.
Whereas we're all completely like landlocked for miles and miles. So.
Yeah, so don't worry. There's not some random thing going on. They literally, I think they're having an argument outside.
I moved from the seaside to be landlocked, so. Obviously, yeah, and shit all over your car. Shit all over your car.
Yes, they do. You clean it. It's every time you clean it, it's like they just sit there watching you. They wait for the perfect moment. It's nice and clean. You're really happy. You go indoors, and then next thing you know, it's covered again. So thanks.
Someone said the other day they're an endangered species or protected species now.
What seagulls?
Well,
Yeah.
seagulls.
No.
You go
Down
Google
my way,
it.
you can hear them having a
Come on,
barney
research
outside.
desk. Come on, research desk.
That can't be. I know we've got this way. We have got terns that they look like seagulls. They look like little mini versions. They are endangered.
They come under the Wildlife and Countryside Act 1981. There we go.
The
You've
offence
learned.
to intentionally injure or kill any gull, or to take damage or destroy an active nest or its contents.
There you go. You can't say you
Never
don't
know
learn.
that. I can
something
tell
on
you
the
now,
desk.
they are evil. If they've got a nest, they proper swoop for your head. And I mean, they would get like this close to it as well, and loads of them.
Why are seagulls protected? Because they're like, they're a nuisance, aren't they? Really?
They can be, yeah, they can. They do have like even in town, where you go, people go get market chips and things. They have warning signs about the seagulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worse than vultures.
Yeah, they don't care. They just, to be fair, they do look quite intimidating. Some of them, they're massive.
Anyway. we've
right.
somebody's going to tune in part way, and it's going to be like the fucking country file.
Let's get them attack vest and we'll set them up like BBs on them and everything, little bombs, grenades. They can go swooping in. Train some seagulls.
Right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. The weekender. That's what we're all here for.
So, Gun Weekender.
How many
It
years
was-
have you been doing it now?
Yeah. So how many times has there been a weekender?
So the event itself, known as the GAM, came from a a decision was made. We would no longer go down and do the GI Weekender. We've got a site of our own. Why aren't we doing one? And we kind of tested the water with the cool kids. So a group that me and Andy organised, and it was our friends that you've known for years, people I've played with for years. The same with Andy. It was just a bunch of mates getting together, having shits and giggles out in an airsoft field, and we decided that as a test run we would do a Cool Kids Weekender. From that, we ended up doing a second Cool Kids Weekender, and then we did our first GAM in 2019. At that point, me and Andy were comfortable with limited numbers of 60. That didn't include any player marshals or the other staff on site. That was just pure Joe Public tickets. The first weekender sold out. Obviously, it's a new event. It went really well. There was a couple of teething problems around medic rules. There was lots of questions. There always is. From that, we decided that it was an event that we should carry on doing. And then at previous events the be all and end all of the GAM Weekender. It's an airsoft event. It's not a festival. It's not a bring and buy sale. So I think it was 2021. If I've got the date right in my head.
You're working the old brain cells now, aren't you?
Yeah, that was the first GAM weekend. 2019 was the first one. We brought in airsoft operator box to have a stall on site.
Oh yeah.
No, there's a blast from the past.
Yeah. Joe was it?
And I believe he did really well. Obviously, I don't want to know their numbers, what they're sold. And Chesney can vouch for it. The couple of times Ben has been on site, he's kind of started talking, and I've walked off. I'm not interested. You do what you do. We do what we do. And then we had, was it 2022? We had Dart Demise and Lone Star tactical gear on site. Last year we had Dart Demise on site again. Unfortunately, this year I'm really struggling to get anyone or find anyone that's available to have a stall on site. It's not the be all and end all. Like I said, it is an airsoft event.
Yeah.
There has been a couple of people asking, well, can we do like a car boot sale? The problem I've got with that, and I'm not saying that other sites don't make it work, is managing your expectations as an airsoft boot fair. It just seems more chaos than what's needed.
Yeah. Especially if they're coming in that aren't on the weekend and they're coming in off site to just have a look around, and it all gets a bit.
It just gets a bit messy.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's something that myself and the Marshall team are really proud of. This is our biggest number yet for a GAM weekender. So we have 80 players. That's without the player marshals and all the other staff on site.
Nice.
So this event is our biggest yet. Plot line for the whole weekend is down. Is this time is down to me and the Marshall team. Whereas before, Gun Monkey wrote a lot of the plot. He would take on ideas on board. Andy has said if I need any help with it, he'll have a read over it, give me any feedback, because obviously he's ran airsoft events, he's ran LARP events. But the two film sims, the Santa versus Grinch, the Betwixtmas game last December, has kind of proved to me I know what I'm doing. I just need that little bit of support. And to be fair, the Marshall team have been amazing. So call sign Phantom. He wrote the whole game plot for the Betwixtmas game.
Nice.
There was a couple of tweaks we did. Josh says Monkey's going to lose.
I don't think so.
You're gonna regret it.
So this year, as I said, it's our biggest number. And this year we've had call sign Hawk Customs do our Gun Weekender merch.
Looking forward to getting out.
Yeah.
Previous years it's been Dark Demise. Hawk did it last year.
Mhm.
And Chris Rook as well, one of the cool kids, for those that know what I mean by cool kids. He did the first ever merch for a Gun Weekender, who also did the flags.
Cool.
But yeah, the new Gun Weekender merch, new designs. The designs were inspired by Chesney. Something we spoke about a while ago. I think it was 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. Yeah.
So I'll quickly, because I don't know what T-shirt I've got. Oh, I've got Monkey on, haven't I? So
The best T-shirt. Boo.
All right.
Boo.
So that's the Griffin one. So Griffin in a tactical helmet.
That's the loser's T-shirt. Cool.
And then the
Well, everybody
Monkey,
knows gold is first and silver is second. So
Good shout.
this time it's a
Brown is
Monkey
first.
holding an AK.
That's so cool.
But designs inspired by Chesney, and I got them put together. I'm quite proud of myself because I'm not. People that know me, I'm very impatient. So if things don't go right the first time, I start shouting.
like you're gonna shout at your iPad in a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really pleased the way they've come out. Hawk has done an amazing job. Obviously, we have got patches for this one as well.
This is the same Hawk that's supposed to be like, oh, this is my last order. Oh no, actually, I'll do another one. Oh, this one's my last one. Oh no, I'll do another one.
I think what he's doing, like people he know and sort of close community and that sort of stuff, like kind of doing little bits and pieces now and then. But I don't think he's publicising all of it like he were as much.
Yeah, he's literally just commented. This is my last order.
Mate, you'll never give it up. You'll never give it up. We know this.
I don't know, mate. Coming out of this one, I think I might need some new Silky Hero merch as well. I might make that design a little bit more intricate as well.
Oh God, don't. To be fair, he likes a challenge, but I reckon he'll still do it. And keep bloody trying. You, mate, we're never going to let you leave. It's not happening. It's not happening.
So, from when we started with the Gun Weekenders up until this point, we've had fantastic support from the community. So, Hawk Custom, Dark Demise, Lone Star, Airsoft Operator Box, even to Chris Rook. I mean, he's about to get an order of some new bits and bobs for props that he's going to do for me. Bradley Ellsmore, any Monkey T-shirt still going? If you can drop me a message on either Facebook or Instagram, we can have a chat there, mate. Because these are pre-order only. It saves me trying to fork it out and then not sell it.
Sorry, Brad, you've missed out. Too late. About 2 minutes too late.
Done.
He's just quit.
I'm only taking orders on days ending in Y.
So, for anybody that hasn't, has like us, who haven't done a Gun Weekender, what should we expect plot wise or story wise?
That you're allowed to tell us at the minute.
Yeah. And do we have had any prior knowledge? Is there anything we need to have known before playing?
So prior knowledge would always be good, but there is enough players that are coming back that have done it before, so they can help you with, like, if you don't quite understand the respawn rules. I decided, because the last film sim was the final one before the Weekender, that we would do an open-ended plot. So we came out of the Weekender, the film sim, with a plot line that will take us into the Weekender.
I have seen a picture of this, and I feel like something went down.
So,
assuming it is what I think it is.
The film sim event was called Fake News, or Is It?
Oh, okay.
There has been a gravestone appear, a body appear of what is led to believe, or is it El Deranged?
Is that from one of the 6-foot holes Lily's dug?
I didn't have to buy the skeleton, mate. I found it. I don't want to delve into the plot too much, because I'm not going to lie, I have got to finish typing it up. The ideas are all in my head.
I mean, but I can vouch for like I said, quite a few of these now, and it's the storyline never ceases to amaze. And sometimes there's been martial stuff that's been thought of on the fly and added into the game to add an extra dynamic, because someone's thought, oh, let's do this one. This is going to go off the chain.
I think you've got to have that to a certain extent as well, haven't you? Because that sort of thing happens in mil sims and stuff like that. Like, if you do something quicker than they expected you to, it's like, oh shit, okay, right, you've got to do this now as well.
So the thing that, and it, even back to when we did the first Cool Kids Weekender, me and Andy were very, very open to, if a player came to us during the event and said, if I go and do this, would this game lose more points, or would it ruin your actual game plot? If you're willing to talk to us about an idea, we were not, I'm not going to turn that idea away without even thinking about it. I'll have to think about it and then come back to you. What we don't want, and Chesney can vouch for it, people just going off plot. Or not listening to their commanding officers. So for those that haven't done a GAM Weekender before, and it worked really, really well last year, we are now at a position where so you have 4 squads. You have recon, tactical, assault, and command. The commanding officers, there is only 5. There must be a commanding officer with each of the other squads when they go off and do mission. He is the only person that will relay that information back to the commander that is left at FOB, because it avoids any confusion at that point. Because if you have 20 people running back, oh, we found this, we're doing this, we did this, no one's going to have any idea of where they're at and what they're doing.
Yeah, it needs to be clear and concise, doesn't it?
Too many cooks.
So, I mean, Chesney's always been a commander for Griffin. And the first couple, there was a little bit confusion because everyone would run back. Oh, look, I found this. Can you take this off me? And then we talked about it, and it's like, no, commanding officers are the only ones that can share anything the squad's find, anything the squad's complete.
That makes sense.
And it does work. We proved it last year, 100%. It works perfect. Each squad will have their own missions. Assault are basically grunts. They will be given support roles for tactical, recon. Recon.
I'm a sacrifice.
Recon are pretty much what you would expect them to be. They will go off, be sneaky, find shit out, come back, tell them, go in, steal it, come back, hand it over. Tactical. The way I'm running the plot this time, Tactical have a bit more of a role than they have previously. Oh, bloody iPad!
New game. Take a shot every time Silky's iPad falls over.
So
As soon as it starts going soft.
Tactical are going to have a bit more of a role. I'm not saying they haven't had a role before, but it's not like it's not going to be a side mission, go off and do this. It's going to be, they're going to have stuff to get on with. There's a couple of new bits we're bringing into this year. There is a new medic rule coming in, just purely on because we're now at our biggest number, and 1 or 2 medic satchels isn't going to be enough. I don't really want to ruin the idea around that, but short and sweet, everyone gets the chance to medic one of their team once.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
And hopefully that will keep the game flowing. Mission drops. There's normally a little bit of confusion around this, but we tried it at the film.
Bloody iPad.
Oh, he's done it now, hasn't he?
What? Wait. No.
Right.
Oh, hello.
It's nothing to do.
Emerson, we're losing you. Start again.
And we go live to Coventry.
I've got the yellow message on my screen. Is it me?
Technical difficulties. Coventry's gone into the
Yeah,
state.
if you click, I think if you click on something else, it pauses you.
Oh, okay.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch nothing. Just talk.
Trying to watch all the time, the dirty bastard.
So yeah, the other new thing is we tried it at the film sim. It works really well. One of the marshals went and purchased a megaphone, and it has a siren on it. So when a new mission window opens, the siren goes off, so all players can hear it. At that point, it is entirely up to you whether you go back to your fob, speak to your commanding officer team, and get the mission. You don't have to go back. But if you don't, and you continue on the mission you're on, that mission window may have closed.
Yeah.
We're also
so you might be flogging a dead horse at that point potentially.
Yeah, we're also going to be using the siren to break for lunch. There will be a 1-hour window where all mission windows close. You can stay in the game zone. Makes it a little bit harder for the marshal team, but we will be having an hour for lunch on both days. I'm not quite sure on timings on that just yet. And then obviously the siren will go with game at the end, and obviously we finish on the Saturday. Something for those that haven't done one yet, the expectation is once we're off the field, you pack your kit up, you put it into the safe zone, we lock the safe zone up. Yes, there's a lot more people this year, but there is plenty of space in that safe zone for your kit. The reason we lock your kit away in the safe zone is so we don't need to re-chrono on Sunday morning, unless you're using something new or use something you haven't used, which from my perspective works really well. It generally gets us back into gameplay, trigger time on the Sunday a little bit quicker.
Well, everybody's had a few jars the Saturday night. It just means that you get that extra half an hour in your tent.
Get rid of your hangover. Yeah, get rid of your hangover or your fuzzy head.
So obviously on the Sunday morning, you get up, come and collect all your kit. Because we've got 80 players, we're going to do, Chesney will know what I mean, we're going to do Griffin set up in the safe zone, Monkey down in the marquee, and then you've got a separate area, so you'll be given your fob, but But if you need to come back to a safe area for any reason, you know, if you're Monkey, you'll be down in the marquee. So your bits and bobs are down there. And the same with Griffin. If you do need to come back to the safe area, your bits and bobs are actually in the safe zone and the shelters. But that's, I mean, you don't even really need to do that much of a setup in those areas. It's just giving you somewhere to sit and wait while we're waiting to do game brief, safety brief, blah de blah.
How role play heavy are we talking?
It's something I'm quite passionate about. I don't know if Chesney can remember it from last year, but we had a recon member of team from Griffin drop out of kit, grabbed a brown paper bag. I have no idea where he got that from.
Don't ask.
And decided he was going to be an Uber driver and deliver a packed lunch to cartel camp. I must make it very clear, though, recon are the only ones that can drop out of kit. And it cannot be into the enemy team's kit. It must be civilian clothing of some sort. And I've never, ever spoken to this player before. And there was no way he would be aware of what I've done at previous events. But he got into cartel camp. He was taking selfies. He was very close to getting a selfie with the new cartel leader. And then they realised he'd got a camo t-shirt on under his hoodie. So they frog marched him out of camp.
I just shot him.
My brain went exactly the same. Shoot.
Yeah.
You're not meant to be in here.
But it's something I'm really passionate about. If you're going to go to the extent to run a weekend like we have done in the past, and I intend to do as long as I've got a brain that works,
Need
So
to
not
see
many
that
minutes.
footage.
there's got to be a role play element to it.
Yeah.
There's got to be, and Chesney knows exactly what I mean. There's got to be that character within your camp. So the deranged character for Cartel, he really, and I'm not saying it because Daft's a brother from another mother, but he really built a character around deranged, and it kind of helped Monkey through and through. When did Slinky have a brain? Oh, you go, just get back to your pub quiz. But I like to see the role play, even down to like the dramatic deaths. So so the medic rule, you've been shot twice. You've been shot your second time. You're waiting for a medic, shouting out, screaming, making it very obvious that you're in pain. Hope you're not for real. But
I mean, you might be for real, but
He made a recovery.
it's always good when
But
people do get into it like that.
regarding role play,
Right,
you role play as much as you want.
Yeah.
Will you get the interaction back? I would hope so. There is definitely enough players that have done previous weekenders, done other stuff we do on site, that would actually do their best to role play back with you.
Yeah, I mean, we did a little bit off Irene.
Yeah,
We
off
did that.
Irene, I've done sort
You've
of
done
role
other
play
various
at
bits.
Sterling Milton.
Yeah, but I think when you do get into it, it just adds that extra element, and it does make it a bit more, I say realistic. I know we're playing toy soldiers, but it's good.
It just adds
makes
to
it
the
fun as well.
immersion.
Yeah, immersion, that's the word I was looking for.
Just
I mean,
saying.
I remember from one of the games, I mean, I don't know if it was plot or not, but I remember the cartel, because obviously I've been on Griffin for a number of years now as kind of one of the Griffin main commanders.
One of them,
And I've made the change this year.
We've turned him.
But I remember the cartel making little baggies with Skittles, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You had
And
the
dropping them in people's admin pouches and their pockets without us knowing, and that earned them extra points because it was, they found it funny that they were getting close enough to plant
Brilliant.
fake drugs on people, and you're like, everybody check your pockets, and you're like, "What the fuck
How
are
did
these?"
they get there?
Like
Right,
you picked up, you found them, but wait, I got some Skittles.
That is good though. To be fair, that's some skill to be able to do that.
I've got to work out how many I'm doing, but something else that Andy introduced to the GAM Weekenders was the envelope drop, which is at start. So at start on Saturday morning, when you're at your fobs, your commander or your marshal within your fob will have a handful of envelopes. It's up to you if you take one, but if there's envelopes left on Sunday evening when we index, there's a chance you've not going to get as many points as you think, because inside each envelope there's separate side missions for that individual.
Ooh, everybody loves a side quest.
I mean, I did 3 for each team at the film sim, and the guy who got the one for Griffin clearly hadn't role played before. I'm really panicking about this. He come and spoke to me privately. He was like, really panicking how to do this. I'll let you know when it's happening, and I'll let you know when you go and do it. And to be perfectly honest, he absolutely played it a blinder.
That's awesome.
I mean, some of the envelopes will be, for instance, you're 100% loyal to the Golden Monkey Cartel, and vice versa for Griffin, but there will be 1 or 2 individual missions which you shouldn't. I don't believe anyone shared it, other than I think it was last year's when there was a private handshake had to be done between 2 Griffin, and they kind of got halfway through it.
There was 3 of us, I think.
Yeah, and you were nearly there with the end result as well, weren't you?
Yeah, so I think 2 of us have worked out, because you had to use the private handshake to discover who the other person was that was part of this little covert thing. I think you had to like touch someone and on the shoulder or on like left shoulder and then do a weird handshake to prove you were. So you're kind of walking around and handshaking your other team, and you know, if they just handshake you back, all right, that's not the person. So it was really, really good fun, but I think we missed out on finding the final member, which was a real shame, because it was a person that had been stood there all along next to us, and we just obviously not done the secret handshake with them. But yeah, it's good fun. I mean, you've managed the gunman now, or run the his head marshal for quite a long time, and you're doing a lot of renovation on site. What would be the one thing you would love to do more than anything on site? No questions, no money, nothing. You know, you've got that one thing you would love to do on your site. What would it be?
Oh,
Put him on the spot now.
There's so many things up here.
Gunty head, you got to pick one now.
It's never going to happen.
No, I was just used to say that too late.
It's never going to happen, but helicopter center of site.
Yeah,
it's summer. I'm going back.
I mean, I'm sure I could chat to MPass. I'll get them to drop in
Land
for a bit.
I mean, I about 4 or 5 years ago, I found this video on YouTube where this guy had made a chassis out of wood, and it looked amazing. But it wasn't just a helicopter. You took like the blades off it, and you could convert it into like a horse-drawn carriage for a LARP. And I was we really need to build one of them. And yeah, now his video has been taken down off YouTube for some reason. When I'm at the point of like, I'm going to build it, and it's gone.
Sorry, it's been vetoed.
I mean, that's personal preference. Obviously, site is used for LARP, so helicopter would not fit. I mean, a lot
Marie's
of the
pulled
builds...
rank, Emerson.
Hey?
Marie's pulled rank.
Yeah, I've always had that.
He's not having a helicopter.
The builds we do, it's for airsoft, it's for LARP, so it goes out to all the groups that use site. For those that haven't seen it, I have recently boxed in the Land Rovers, so the Land Rovers no longer are visible. But that's purely on the new fuel depot stroke fort build that I'm doing. And the Land Rovers wouldn't have fit in the fort. And to be fair, they've been there a long time.
Yeah, they look out of place.
Yeah, but it looks tidy. But yeah. But the helicopter would be what I'd want, Chesney.
So if you've boxed the Land Rovers in now, what are you going to trap people in for the weekend and then not let them out of?
Oh, yeah.
We've got the white building.
Okay, cool.
And then we've got the jail cell inside of one of the buildings. And and the two new buildings inside the compound are lockable with padlocks from the outside.
Cool.
Oh, is that why there was them chains and the like handcuff things?
Yeah, Silky's dungeon.
That's the bit underneath.
He puts the M in S&M.
But I mean, there's a few of the new builds I've been quite selfish with, because Chesney will vouch for it. Generally, at the weekenders, we are having to chuck tarps up to make sure the players have got covered area, because obviously August, you'd expect it to be hot, warm. With the builds we're currently rattling through, all buildings have a roof already pre-done as an idea of the build. And not only that, a roof on a building in the UK is going to make the buildings last longer.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There we go. We've got it in writing there, Silky. So, Marie, sorry,
you've seen it here. There's going to be video evidence.
Yeah, cannot go back on this now. If you can make one, Silky, that turns into that, you're allowed it.
All right, wicked.
So it's there, verbatim. It's on here. It's on the internet. It lives forever.
There's no turning back now, Marie.
I need someone who's good at doing designs now.
You do it. Just do it.
So, what sort of like for people who haven't come? Because I know there's a lot of my team, Gunfighter Tactical. I know there's a lot of them that haven't been to site before. What sort of facilities can they expect?
So we have toilet block, which has 2 showers, 2 4 toilets. That's built onto the safe zone. We also have another toilet block down by the training hall. Then we have the on-site coffee shop. For those that are board gamers, it's also Sidekick Games, which is board gaming. I'm not really into board gaming. I'm not a board gamer. I'm not.
It's like Kickstarter campaign sort of board game,
yeah,
that kind of thing, isn't it?
Obviously, coffee shop, exactly what it says on the tin. We will have a bar Friday night for a few hours. Have a bit of a social on Friday when everyone starts rocking up. The bar will be open on Saturday evening once we know all the guns are locked away. On the Saturday evening, as part of your shoot feed, there will be a barbecue / non-barbecue selection of food. But I believe this is the last year we're doing the barbecue, the food within the price on the Saturday night. It's got something I've got to confirm with Marie, but we have previously talked about it.
That's fair enough.
For those that like their own Domino's, fish and chips, we're not that far from the village, which has a fish and chip shop, a Domino's pizza, Tuscany. There's a few.
A mini Tesco and that as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you forget anything or you want some little snacks or whatever, then there'll probably be chances where you can nip out and go and grab stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far. Even if you decided you were going to walk down on like Friday evening or Saturday evening,
it's probably not even 20 minutes.
I'd say less than that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I've never walked it.
Depends how slow you are. I'm slow, so it's 20 minutes.
I think that's. I don't think I've missed anything facilities, right?
No, I don't think so.
Other than obviously within the safe zone, there'll be a safe zone mom with a desk with like a bit of a tuck shop, cans of pop, bottles of water, BBs. For those that are running HPA, there will be HPA fails.
You got a bar in the evening? Are you opening the bar this year, or?
Yeah, the bar will be open.
Wait, you've not listened to anything.
For fuck's sake, you're not listening.
I'm reinforcing the fact that we can have a fucking drink.
Okay, yeah.
Not too many though.
The bar is there and it's open.
Drink responsibly,
got-
I think is the
Yeah.
wording.
Obviously, we've got the camping field where everyone can set up with tents. Unfortunately, unless it is actually a vehicle that is a camper, or I hate to say it, like Chesney's, which has a tent on the roof, all vehicles must be down at the car park. So unfortunately, if you are planning on sleeping in your vehicle, you will be down in the car park. That's just purely a health and safety thing, and we don't allow LARPers to have their cars up there. So it's not just letting airsofters do it. We don't let the LARPers do it either.
Will it be the case that if you got stuff to unload, you can drive up and load?
Yeah, so what we do, we generally release a time when everyone can start rocking up on Friday. You'll be met by the marshal team. They'll give you a quick, right, you go up there, you sign in with Steph, you drive round, unload your car, come back down the other backtrack. Just watch for the marshals letting you come up and down the main road, because obviously a one-way system.
Yeah.
And we get all the cars back into the car park.
Makes sense. So everyone
That's good. It saves them having to take all their stuff though, don't it,
Yeah,
as well? So
but
some
like,
sites you have to
some
try and
people, Andy,
so
will
far.
pack for
About 3 weeks.
yeah. And that's just as airsoft stuff, let alone camping stuff as well.
He
So.
brings about 20 guns to each
Yeah.
game, doesn't he?
Oh, just gotta make another trip to the car.
Yeah, at least you just drive up now, yeet everything out, like not literally, but yeah, there you go, that's it, and then leave.
You just tip a truck. Just put everything in the tipper truck, drive up, tip it, goodbye.
Yeah, spotted.
I mean, on the camping field, there will be cars up there, but that's purely the marshal team. And that's if we need to get a vehicle on site, dash truck would be the closest vehicle to the safe zone. And I'm absolutely 100% that truck would go anywhere he wanted it to go.
So will mine.
But we have the marshal vehicles up at the top, just purely if we need to do anything first aid related or
Casavac.
touch wood, we won't.
Yeah, but you need some sort of transport, don't you? You need something like that. And it's good that you actually have it.
So my Lily makes a good comment. Would recommend a trundle truck for going to fobs.
Or children, if you have them, bring them.
Or children, yeah.
Just if they're under 18, they've got to wear full face.
It's fine if I'm going to end up using them as a prop. There'll be a full face with something else over the top. So
I'm sure Timmy will give us a hand, actually.
Timmy's your friend, isn't he?
Say hello to him all the time, you, don't you?
He confuses me. It just pops up in different locations, and I think he was an actual player.
I can't wait, man. I know once a year is probably enough for you guys, but I wish you did more than once a year on a weekend day.
I mean, before last year, so before last August, me and Andy did talk about maybe doing 2.
Like
And then
maybe
it's amongst everything else we do out on site. we physically and mentally don't have the time to run 2 weekenders.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's why then I spoke with the Marshall team about doing the film sims, because that's almost like a mini weekender in one day. So for those that haven't experienced a weekender of any sort, doesn't matter whether it be with us or elsewhere, a film sim is kind of gives you that idea of what you're letting yourself in for.
See, that'd be really good though for like people like me. I can't physically do a weekend. I can do day trips, but I can't do overnight because I have like the children and everything.
Yeah.
No, something like that would be a brilliant experience for me because it just changes it up a little bit.
Woohoo, quiz win and pageable attention. Well done, Daff. Yeah. So the film sims, I'm gonna try and do it every other month next year. It just depends on what other bookings the site has taken with other events. The weather played a massive factor into my whole calendar around the film sims this year, which
so just
should have been
ages, didn't it? So
I think it should have been the end of February, and we moved it to the end of March. Are you doing a night game this year? Yes, we will be doing a night game. As of date yet, I do not know. Do I have a plan? Yes, I do have a plan. Right, chat. I don't know. More details on the night game will follow.
Okay, wow. I think we've pretty much talked about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone that's viewing has any questions regarding the weekender and they've booked their spot, or they just want to have a chat about site, whatever, just drop me a message. It's probably a question I've answered 1,000 times, but I'm happy to have a chat.
Lovely. And on that note, where can people find you? / how can they find you?
Probably in the fridge on a Friday night. Instagram at @Silky, same on Facebook, and then obviously sites Insta and Facebook at Gunman Airsoft Midlands. And then Deranged has his own page, and he also has his photography page. He does spend quite a bit on site. And then the website, www.gunmanairsoftmidlands.com. Job done.
Lovely.
Perfect. Lovely.
He's not listening.
He's zoned out, hasn't he?
Sorry, I was reading something somebody sent me through us. Yes, everyone find me, Chesney. Obviously, I'm a gunman as much as time permits. Just hit me up.
Kerry.
Hi. Mainly on just Instagram, under @Huntress. That's what I do most of my socials.
And everybody knows where they can find me and Ailey by now. And if you don't, you're obviously living under a rock. I can't remember Andy's little outro, so
The chair's off the show.
We're just gonna say bye.
Take your hits.
Take your hits.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.